Hello everybody. Welcome to another Wombat story. This time we're starting with the very first Wombat story ever written, entitled Bubba and the Extra Beans. Bubba woke up one morning and decided he was so full of beans he wanted to be like that all the time. He wondered how he could be, and he thought about it and thought about it. Then he remembered. 3 of his siblings had extra beans. If only he could get some of theirs for himself. Bubba ran around and around the kitten room because running helped him think. As he went in circles, he thought, well, they are not really my siblings, so it would not be so bad if I took a couple of their beans. But really, they are like my siblings because they snuggle with me and play with me and poop with me. Oh, I am just not sure. Okay, he thought, I need to contemplate on this. Where is there a quiet place where I can sit and think about this? I know, I will go where I feel so comfortable I can really let loose and drive up the sale of scratchers. Or I could sit on that cute human who thinks it's okay to sit in my beanbag. The poor fool does not realize what happens there when laser cats are out. Well, the human has left the room, so I guess it has to be the round scratchy thing, thought Bubba. He climbed in and did a few circles just to make sure his tail was not following him. He had that problem a lot, and no matter how many times he chewed it, the lesson did not seem to be learned. Having established the best way to deal with that problem was to loaf, he loafed. Just as he was getting into his best thinking position with his head resting on the side of the scratchy thing, Kitten jumped on top of him. Yo, said Bubba. Can't you see I'm trying to think here, Kitten? What is think? Said Kitten. Bubba told her it was something left in the Kitten Academy atmosphere by a wise old cat called Kazoo. That and a fair bit of static electricity. Well, Kitten thought, this Kazoo fellow sounded like some Kitten Academy myth, and did not believe any of it. She wanted some fun, and there was no cameraman to play with. So she bit Bubba on the ear. He did not even react, he was so deep in contemplation, so she chewed on his whiskers. Well, that got Bubba's attention. I may be a sweet little Persian, but I know how to defend my whiskers, thank you very much. So he bit Kitten back on the ear, and it was on. He and Kitten rolled around and around in the scratchy thingy so much his tail got loose, and being ever so helpful, Garby dived in and grabbed it for him. As they rolled and rolled around inside it, the scratchy thing fell over, and Bubba found himself on his side looking into the eyes of a strange reindeer. He panicked and grabbed the reindeer by the nose, and with one almighty hurl flung it into the litter box, right on top of a tomato poop. He felt guilty, but thought it might be the last time he saw it, and figured no one else would know. As the play fight continued, the whole crew piled in. Hummus flapped away at Garby, but no matter how hard he flapped, he could not seem to reach Skin. Hummus was confused. Is there a kitten in there, or is this a ball of fluff blowing in the air from the vents? Tahini grabbed Tomato's tail, and Tomato screamed for help. Up in the Kitten Academy spa, aka the main bedroom, Corey heard his siblings cry for help and bounced from DJ's lap to Mr. A's head, and propelling from Mr. A's headphones, leapt onto Custeroo's back. Custeroo ran like the wind out of the door of the spa and leapt onto the cat tree, sending Eddie flying. Sorry, Eddie, it's an emergency, yelled Corey as they bounded down the tree and past the gnome to the main room. Custeroo applied the brakes just as he reached the door. Sadly, Corey was not holding on tightly enough and booped his nose on the door, causing humans around the world to look up and say, "What was that noise?" "Oh no, the door is closed," said Corey. "Never fear, I is here," said a voice in Custeroo's head. "Is that you, Kazoo?" "Yes, I am talking to you on the gnome's communicator. Why do you think I spent so much time with it when I was there? I was setting up an emergency communication channel." "Sounds perfectly Kazoo to me," thought Custeroo. "A wise cat in Australia called Ella taught me how to get through closed and locked doors," said Kazoo. "I have not needed to use this skill in Boston because my kind humans are very well trained, but I will share the secret with you. But Custeroo, you must promise not to use it for evil, and you must never tell the secret to Loganberry or to Gary." "Hurry up and promise, Custeroo," howled Corey. I can hear Falafel screaming, and you know Falafel never makes unnecessary noise. Kusteroo promised, leaned close to the gnome, and Kazoo imparted the secret. 3 seconds later, they were in the main room, and as he hopped off Kusteroo's back, Corey said, "Oh my! What a scene! It looked like the annual faculty Christmas party had just finished, and Mr. A was still sleeping off all the Diet Coke he drank. The contemplation station was hanging from the top tier of the cat tree with Tahini clinging on for dear life. Thankfully, it was a scratcher, so her claws were in pretty deep. The reindeer had woken up and was trying to climb out of the litter box, but every time Tomato ran past, he pushed the reindeer back in. There were cat toys everywhere, including a mouse wrapped around the food tray's camera. It was almost like the kittens were trying to keep their contretemps a secret. The cat tunnel was defying gravity. It was standing on its end and perched at the very top of the wavering tube was Garby. It was true. He was just fluff and so light he could balance on a cat tunnel. In the midst of the mess was Baba. Baba was lying on his side with Kidney's paw in his mouth, and he was licking it like it was the nicest kitten food ever. And he was hungrier than Loganberry in the laundry. He was purring a few words to himself over and over. Kusteroo leaned in to hear what he was saying. "Beans, more beans, more beans. I want more beans," Baba was purring. Well, Kusteroo shook his head, and being a wise, patient, and sensible cat that people looked to in a crisis, he said, "Tough beans, Baba. All you will get chewing on unsoaked kidney beans is tough beans." Baba came out of his reverie and looked at the wise and kind Kusteroo. Then he looked across the room at Garby toppling into the beanbag, Falafel dragging Tahini to safety, and Tomato lifting Hummus off the side of the cage where he had jumped for safety in all the chaos. "Oh," he said, "I did not mean to cause all of this. I just wanted to wake up full of beans every day." "That is okay," said Kusteroo. "You will be full of beans till you are 2. Then you become a proper cat and will only be full of beans when your humans are not watching. Now, help me clean up this mess before, like Shigo or Confuse the Polarity, make it into a GIF, and the whole world knows what you did here today. And don't worry, Baba, it had a positive outcome. Thanks to Ella and Kazoo, I have learned how to go through locked doors, and I can tease Loganberry like DJ teases people about the mystery adopter of Garby. Now let's get you adopted. You clearly need supervision." Baba nodded and licked Kidney's head, and Kusteroo set about wiping the tapes. The end. Thank you, everyone. Much love. Squeeze a kitten for me.